do is to say it every day till eternity passes away. Just to spend them with you. Goodbye would make days last forever. If words could make wishes come true.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Media Speaks Live Saturday morning news show. I'm DLAKE for PREZ. It's just me today, but I have enabled the Q&A, the questions and the answers. So if you would like to join the conversation and save time in a bottle, please click that link below. Join the conversation. I'll read your comments. We'll get to that. Today we're going to talk about Iraq Implodes. Oh, here comes the best part. DLAKE for PREZ, themediaspeaks.com. X-Men Days of Future Past bootleg. Can't screen share. Oh! What the? Oh, man. All right, it's Saturday morning, and I'm having fun. It's DLAKE for PREZ, reporting for themediaspeaks.com, and it's just me today. Sam DeGangi, as you know, is in a band called Passing Time. They have a show today. Kyle Phillips of the Media Speaks, you may know that I'm sort of like the right hand of the Voltron. I like to think of myself that way, and Kyle would be the head of the Voltron. And the head of the Voltron, the technician on a mission, Kyle Phillips, has just recently purchased a new home, new house. How exciting is that? And I believe he's having a house party today. And if you have a girlfriend or a wife and you're throwing a house party, I'm sure you know all about that. I'm sure you know all about you got to be ready, and you got to get the cheese and crackers ready and the sound effects ready. But I've got my Facebook open. If any of the guys want to join, just hit me up, and I'll suppose I'll try to send you the link. Just like I'll try to stay on top of the questions and answers that I've enabled for today's show. Let me click on Q&A. So if you got anything to say, click on the link. I believe it's somewhere down here. Today's show, Iraq implodes. ISIS, ISIS, or ISIS, however you want to say it. Obama's enforcer. Take a guess who that would be. We'll get to that. And also UACs. Unaccompanied children. We're going to talk about those guys. Illegal immigrants in the United States being housed at U.S. military bases. Basically getting better care than the veterans in this country. I mean, from what I've seen, it costs $250 a day per kid. Per day. $250. And then when you multiply it by how many there are, we're looking at roughly like $250,000 a day, $500,000 a day, something like that. That's your tax dollars at work there to flood the country with illegal immigrants. But let's take it one topic at a time and get to Iraq implodes. And also, because Sam's not here, we're going to get to some science news. And Court couldn't join in. Anthony Court couldn't be here. And I didn't invite because he's doing other stuff and he's out of town. And I could have invited some other people. Sure I could have. But I invited a bunch of people for tomorrow, which I wasn't really thinking at the time yesterday when I was doing all my inviting that tomorrow's actually Father's Day. So Matt, I don't know, Mikhail, AJ, Bo. Who else did I invite? Austin, Pember, other people that have been on the show before. I hope they don't mind me saying their names. And just a bunch of other people. I was just sending out links like a madman to try to get people on tomorrow's show where we're going to do a special edition on Sunday, which is Father's Day. So if any of you guys got to bow out because, like me, you kind of forgot it was Father's Day tomorrow, totally understandable. It's Father's Day. All right, let's get to this Iraq thing. Now, yesterday, I was posting live reporting, live up-to-date breaking news on a friend of mine's page who was in the Army. He did time in Iraq, Afghanistan. He served in all different positions, and he's a real intelligent guy. And I was trying to get to the bottom of these headlines, originally posted at WND. About 200 American under contract. Excuse me. This is intense. About 200 Americans under a contract with the Department of Defense at Ballard Air Force Base in Iraq are trapped by the Al-Qaeda-inspired jihadists. Okay, now that would be ISIS, the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria. Okay, but from other things that I've read, they've been excommunicated from Al-Qaeda, Al-Qaeda. They've been excommunicated. They're on their own. They're doing their own thing. This is a new thing. Barack doesn't know what to say. W's being silent. But to go back to the real-time reporting, yesterday I posted this article to my friend's page. His other friends started doing research and reporting and posting more articles. And the source is private contractors who have recently returned to the United States from Iraq said Friday their former colleagues effectively have been abandoned by the U.S. military and are fighting for their lives against an army of jihadists. And jihad is war against America, surrounding the base, who belong to the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria, or ISIS. The U.S. contractors are at Ballard to help the Pentagon prepare the facilities for the delivery of the F-16 aircraft the Obama administration has agreed to provide the Iraqi government. And from what I understand, a bunch of military hardware got left behind. The surrounded Americans said they are currently under ISIS fire from small arms, AK-47s, and rocket-propelled grenades, or RPGs. The contractors so far have been able to hold the base, but those on the scene reported that it was only a matter of time before the ISIS terrorists succeeded in breaking through the perimeter. The sources confirmed the contractors were still under siege, despite an Associated Press and AP report Thursday citing U.S. officials that 3 plane loads of Americans were being evacuated from Ballard. And the original WND link that I was posting yesterday has since been updated this morning, in fact. And let's go take a look at that. Screen share. DLAKE for PREZ. TheMediaSpeaks.com. Linking to WND by Dr. Jerome Corsi. Iraq Air Force evacuating besieged U.S. contractors. No help from America's military as escape routes cut off. But look at this. These guys are pumping it up. Yo, yo, yo! Evacuated American contractors aboard a C-130 aircraft in Baghdad on Friday. That's what I'm talking about. Pump it up, guys. Okay, just checking the questions. New York. A U.S. contractor in Iraq told WND the Iraqi Air Force has begun evacuations from Ballard Air Force Base, where 200 American contractors were trapped by the Al-Qaeda-inspired jihadists who have seized control of 2 cities and are now threatening Baghdad. They're a big threat to Baghdad. A contractor with Sallyport Global, who asked not to be named, told WND through a Skype instant message that he was transported from Ballard to Baghdad and was communicating from a C-130. Preparing to take off from Dubai. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And I mean, these guys are aboard. The C-130 looks pretty spacious, right? Gigantic aircraft, armed military aircraft. When it's not bringing cocaine in and out of the States, it's rescuing over 200 contractors. Over 300 in total have been evacuated from Ballard, about 60 miles north of Baghdad. And another 100 are still awaiting airlift. Okay, so still 100 awaiting the airlift there. He said the Iraqi Air Force is trying to evacuate everyone by midnight local time. So this just keeps getting better and better. The surrounded Americans said they were under ISIS fire. Okay, we already read that. The contractors had been able to hold the small base. Okay, but it looks like they're getting out of there on Iraqi C-130s. That I'm sure we probably previously supplied them. The U.S. private contractors in touch with WND reported that after hearing the broadcast, the private security forces and the Iraqi military defending the base dropped their weapons and ran. Oh, man. Oh yeah, the broadcast was ISIS over the loudspeaker saying, shit's over for you, leave now or be fucking killed. Okay? They're already taking over Tikrit, the birthplace of Saddam Hussein, and Mosul. Okay? This is all breaking headline news, and so I'm trying to keep you up to date on it. Yeah, that's right. Most up-to-date news coming out of the Daily Mail right now. Obama rules out sending troops back into combat in Iraq, but promises to review military options, including airstrikes. Former President George W. Bush's office says he won't weigh in, telling Mail Online that he has decided not to criticize his successor. In other words, you've been blaming me for the past 6 years. You've been blaming me. You're on your own now, pal. Because you've said plenty in the past 6 years that, I mean, if I'm George W. Bush, then I'm feeling pretty off the hook, and I don't really want to get involved, say something stupid or the wrong thing. I'll leave that to you and Joe Biden. Obama said Friday that ground forces are off the table, but his national security team will present him with other options in the days ahead. Republicans in Congress, oh man, those crazy Republicans. Thanks, Daily Mail UK. Say the Republicans in Congress, bullet point, insist that waiting shouldn't be an option. We need to be hitting these columns of terrorists marching on Baghdad with drones now. And I do kind of agree with that, and I posted last night a quick question. Why can't the NSA use all their superpowers and drones and spying equipment to pick up the telecommunications and radio frequency communications of the ISIS, the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, and diminish their capacity? But it looks like airstrikes are being planned. I know there's a lot of people that haven't seen a good airstrike in a while that are pretty excited. Obama could have airstrikes underway in 24 hours, according to one retired general. Okay, well, tomorrow's Father's Day, so happy Father's Day. Maybe we'll bomb you then, or we'll wait till Monday. The president is traveling to North Dakota for a Sioux Indian tribal event. The Sioux Indians, is how I say it. And his national security advisor is not with him. Oh, national security advisor, you mean Susan Rice, the Ron Burgundy of the White House, who will just read anything that's put in front of her? Who says that Benghazi was spawned by a YouTube video called Innocence of Muslims, and that Sergeant Bo Bergdahl served with honor and distinction and was captured on the battlefield. The battlefield that he left? Didn't have any affiliation? Well, we don't know that yet. Is there going to be a court-martial? Or is Bo Bergdahl's parents going to, Bob, I heard, shaved his beard before DLAKE shaved his, and I have a feeling that parental reunion will save Bo from doing any time for deserting the U.S. military, because I'm pretty sure the Obama administration has other things on their mind besides, United States military justice. A senior Air Force official in Afghanistan said air bases there and across the Middle East expect contingency plans in the next 72 hours. Well, I mean, we let 4 guys die in Benghazi, so we better get these guys out of Iraq immediately. I'm sure there's probably plenty of guys there that are like, F you, I'm staying. We can fight these guys. We don't need to leave. But I guess a lot of people abandon their post. I mean, and if they capture 200 contractors, and we exchanged, the U.S. exchanged Bo Bergdahl for 5 senior Taliban members out of Guantanamo Bay. So let's say the ISIS forces capture roughly 200 U.S. Contractors. Most of them, I'm assuming, are former military as well, veterans, you could say. And so times 5, that would be, I guess we would have to release like 1,000 people from Guantanamo Bay. And I don't even think there's still that many left. I think there's only about 200 to 300 detainees in Guantanamo Bay. Do I have any Q&A? On the Q&A, am I allowed to ask a question, and then if you have the answer, you could answer in the Q&A, right? Can anyone tell me real fast the number of people detained still in Guantanamo Bay, minus the 5 guys that we let go for Bergdahl? Anyways, let me stay on today's topics, right? Like, don't get too far off topic. We're not ready for science yet. Are we? No, we got to talk about Obama's Enforcer. That's right. By John Fund. Eric Holder. Eric Holder. That's Obama's Enforcer. Remember earlier I said, hey, can you guess the Enforcer? Save that for now. And if you guessed Eric Holder, you were correct. Give it up for yourself if you got the right answer. You know what I'm saying? Attorney General Eric Holder's Justice Department gave bad advice to President Obama and the Pentagon in the controversial Bergdahl. Excuse me. Baghdad, Benghazi, Bergdahl. It's all starting to run together, right? Well, Eric Holder gave some bad advice to Obama and the Pentagon in the controversial Bergdahl prisoner trade for the 5 Taliban that the president could ignore federal law requiring prior notification to Congress. Oh, you remember the NDAA that you just signed? Well, here's some good advice. Ignore it. This is just the latest example of how Holder helps the administration ignore the rule of law and crafts his legal opinions based on the desired political outcome, not the actual state of the law. Under Eric Holder, the Justice Department has stood the old Ronald Reagan maxim, trust but verify, on its head, and adopted a trust and we won't let you verify approach to its activities. Oh, trust and we won't let you verify. Oh, well, wow, that sounds like news that just came out yesterday about the Obama administration forbids lawmakers from taking photos of illegal immigrant facility. Yeah, you can't do any reporting about it. You can't get any footage. You can't do any interviews. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the DHHS. Remember Kathleen Sebelius, who just resigned from there? Oh, and now it's under new management, DLAKE. And Obamacare, you guys familiar with all that and the wonderful website? Well, the Health and Human Services is welcoming members of Congress to the war and their senior staff to tour a temporary shelter being used to house illegal immigrant children. But the invite comes with a list of rules, including a suggestion that members leave their cell phones in their vehicles. Oh, great. Wonderful. Glad we can come in and see, but, you know, just like leave any kind of recording equipment outside. Just, you're not bringing that in. And no recording devices will be allowed. We may ask you to leave your cell phone in your vehicle. Oh, it says in our vehicle. I hope that's a typo. No questions will be allowed during the tour, but questions will be addressed later. Oh, well, thank goodness. No interacting with staff and children at the shelter. So no interviews. The facility will provide the photos of the facility after the tour. Oh yeah. Please visit our gift shop. Please visit the gift shop for any photos of the UAC, the UAC, illegal children, unauthorized children that cross the border, because Barack Obama is the Pied Piper who said we're going to pass the DREAM Act and all this amnesty, so just come on. And we won't deport you. We'll just let you come here. And then once you're here, it's all good. And now they're shipping them off to, like, abandoned buildings in Massachusetts and just, like, military bases all over the place, like America has all these hotels for rent. And, you know, state officials are saying, hey, we're trying to get stuff correct in our state here before we can welcome all your American immigrants here. Friday's tour, so it just happened yesterday. We'll have to go do some more research and see how that went. Friday's tour will be the only one offered at the naval base, reads the email invite. Numerous questions about arrangements at the facilities have been raised. Interesting. Some wonder how long the facilities will be used to house the UACs. So far, the Obama administration and the Department of Homeland Security have not put a timeline on it. Yeah, we're just waiting to see. We got to deal with Iraq. We got to deal with the ISIS. We got to get those contractors out of there. We got to exchange Bergdahl. We're still waiting to reunite him with his family for the perfect political moment. We're waiting to see what the military is going to do. But I'm sure the commander-in-chief can just pardon him once he's reunited with his family in a nationwide a nationwide Oprah Winfrey moment where we all fall in love with the Bergdahl family reunited. And please check out my reports. Bob and Janny could be Bo Bergdahl's fake parents. And you know, I got some negative comments like, DLAKE, you can't just make shit up. I'm like, well, there's a difference between making shit up and just expressing my personal opinion. And when I can't find any pictures of a young or a younger Bob Bergdahl, and I can't find any pictures of Bob and Janny with their son before their son joined the military. I've seen pictures of Bo before he joined the military, but not with his family, which leads me to say all that. Holder was expected, Eric Holder, the Department of Justice, was expected to support Hillary Clinton for president in 2008, but his meeting with Obama changed everything. Loyalty is something I value a lot, so my decision to support Barack was not necessarily a difficult one, but I had to be really moved by him, possibly in a gay way. My inclination would be to support Senator Clinton. I was overwhelmed by Barack, says Eric Holder, who also says that we need to brainwash your kids with anti-gun propaganda every day, on every commercial, on the WB's reruns of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It's not enough to run the ad once a week. We got to run it every day until people are brainwashed and have a whole new way of thinking about guns. And I think one really super good way to do that would be to fake a Sandy Hook, maybe a Elliot Rodgers, Santa Barbara shooting, maybe some Tea Party people and libertarians going on shooting sprees, killing cops. Because we need to brainwash people and get them to think vastly different about guns. I'm Eric Holder, Department of Justice. What does it matter who runs the U.S. Justice Department? Because that person has one of the most powerful executive branch agencies in the federal government. One that has enormous discretionary power to pursue people accused of breaking the law and to exert major influence on social, economic, and national general. Yet he has studiously ignored high-level friendly leaks by White House officials in the Obama administration. Holder has racialized, yep, it's all about black people, the prosecution of federal discrimination laws and led an unprecedented attack on election integrity laws, thus making it easier for people to commit voter fraud and facilitating the election of members of his political party. His handling of national security issues has been dismal, and he has filled the career ranks of the Justice Department with political allies, cronies, and Democratic Party donors, and all his best buddies and boyfriends, and people that give him money and back rubs. And then when they rub his back, he does whatever he can to rub theirs. It's a bunch of cronyism. And but you know, cronyism and affirmative action are the same thing according to Holder here. And for all these reasons and many others, former career lawyer Christopher Coates, who served in the Clinton, Bush, and Obama administrations, says that in his opinion, quote, Holder is the worst person to hold the position of Attorney General since the disgraced John Mitchell, who went to jail as a result of the Watergate scandal. Yep. You guys think that Eric Holder could go to jail? We'll have to wait and see. All right, let's get into science news. This is for Sam DeGangi, who could not be here today. And let me think of the best way to do this. Yeah, here we go. Screen share can be tricky, especially if you have as many windows open as me. And Pentagon sends warship to Gulf, everyone. Moving forward, skipping forward into science news. I don't have a theme song for DLAKE doing the science, and I don't have Kyle's, Sam's theme song that Kyle would normally play. But I'm going to do my own thing for the start of the science. Or I would, but my Flash player crashed. Huh. Well, isn't that a blip? Okay, thanks everyone for watching me have everything set up perfectly, and then probably now having to wait for commercials or something.
How do they pack so much juice?
Oh, how do they pack so much juice for that friggin' Starburst? Well, they got a mini place, and everything there is mini. Oh, for real? Yep. Wait. What? Yeah. Okay. Okay. 335. See, I'm telling you, I had it all lined up. This is actually pretty good stuff. It's excellent. Okay. If YouTube would work with me here, Google, YouTube, if you guys could work together to play this video. Well, there goes all my awesome, amazing intro comedy. Forget it. Oh, my whole internet's frozen up. I run 2 different browsers, so when this happens, I can switch back, and then I guess we have to wait. And then all of a sudden, I'm probably going to get... I had it on mute. Now I can't even click over. Wow, what a great show. Good job, Eli. We're going to take a pause here. Everything's crashing. Let me do a quick commercial.
You know karate, man?
I don't know karate. I know crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's the current red situation. We are evacuating the entire floor so that we, my associate and I, can secure the prison. We are Special Operations CBFECID. Look, perhaps you didn't hear me when first I spoke, but it's imperative that you understand we are in complete lockdown situation. We have to get into the 3rd floor.
Oh, I'm sorry. You finished?
They told me you control metal.
Okay.
You know, my mom once knew a guy who could do that.
Sorry, I'm just not very good with violence.
Charles.
About accessing the circuits of time.
The circuits of time that are attached to a phone booth.
The phone booth is the vehicle.
I'm just going to go ahead and stop you there and say no. No, I'm going to take Bill and Ted's circuits of time as a big no.
Who'd win in a fight, Time Cop or Demolition Man?
Time Cop.
No. You know how I know that? Sylvester Stallone fought Jean-Claude Van Damme in The Expendables 2. And Sylvester Stallone won. I'm sorry, doctor. Would you call cryogenics The lazy man's time travel?
So far, we haven't been able to freeze a human body for anything longer than a couple of days, and so you'd be pretty much mush-brained by the time you woke up, no matter what you did.
Sylvester Stallone was perfectly fine.
Are you sure he was?
All right, great. Yeah, that's how I introduced the science section. Today on the science section, a hidden underground discovered a hidden ocean. That's right. It's in the headlines. Hidden ocean discovered deep underground near Earth's core. Wow, DLAKE, that sounds exciting. That's right. I got it open twice. Well, because Flash Player crashed and I was going to show amazing pictures while I read some of this, but let's just get into it. We may have another ocean to add to the world map. Only this one is hidden hundreds of miles beneath our planet's surface. Welcome to DLAKE's science section. A new study suggests that a hidden ocean, thanks to AJ for sending me the link, is nestled in the Earth's mantle some 400 miles beneath North America. Oh, underneath us? Sweet. The hidden reservoir, apparently locked in a blue crystalline material called ringwoodite, would hold 3 times as much water that exists in all the world's surface oceans. Wait a second. What? This discovery may help explain where Earth's water supply came from and how subterranean water affects the shifting rock in the Earth's outer crust, a phenomenon scientists call plate tectonics. Geological processes on the Earth's surface, such as earthquakes or erupting volcanoes, are an expression of what is going on inside the Earth, out of our sight. Geophysicist Dr. Stephen Jacobson, an associate professor at Northwestern University, said in a written statement, quote, "I think we are finally seeing evidence for a whole Earth water cycle, which may help explain the vast amount of liquid water on the surface of our habitable planet. Scientists have been looking for this missing deep water for decades." And basically this ringwoodite, fragments of the blue-colored mineral called ringwoodite, synthesized in the laboratory. Mother effers. They synthesize this, and they say basically it's like a sponge. Like underneath the Earth's crust, between the upper and lower mantle, there's a hidden ocean that may be trapped in the transition zone. And in that transition zone, this ringwoodite acts like a sponge. It can hold, like, 3 times the amount of water that's on the surface of the Earth. So it's underneath the Earth. Wow, man, that is exciting. NASA's Insider Favorite Pictures of Earth. Oh, let's take a look. Wow.
If I could sit tight in a bottle, the first thing that I'd like to do is to say it every day till eternity passes away, just to spend them with you.
Oh, you are here.
If I could make days last forever, if words could make wishes come true, I'd save every day like a treasure, and then again I would spend them with you.
Oh, wow. Yes. All I can say is the Earth is awesome. We live on an amazing planet. And it's good to know that underneath us is this ringwoodite. It's like a sponge holding 3 times the surface ocean, hidden underground. Well, can we access that, like maybe some oil and some other stuff? No, we got to go nuclear. Well, Iraq unraveling as top Shiite cleric issues call to arms in Istanbul. The likely breakup of Iraq into feuding ethnic and sectarian bastions accelerated Friday as Iraq's senior Shiite Muslim cleric broke years of support for the central government and decreed that every able-bodied Shiite man had a religious obligation to defend the sect's holy sites from rebellious Sunni Muslims led by fighters from the extremist Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, also known as ISIS or ISIS. I've been talking about it all freaking morning. But that's what we do on the mediaspeaks.com on Saturdays. Usually I'm joined by the rest of the gang. We're trying to put together, or team, Voltron, like I was saying earlier. Do you like the right arm? We're trying to put together a super awesome special game for tomorrow of Who Done Said It. And we kind of planned it last week. I think we might have not thought it all the way through that tomorrow is actually Father's Day. And like one of the people that I really wanted to be on the show is like, do you like it's Father's Day? And I was like, oh yeah. I forgot. But that's okay. And I want to wish fathers out there happy Father's Day everywhere. And I've made some super awesome Father's Day news report specials because I've been broadcasting news and doing live hangouts and doing news reporting for, man, 2 going on 3 years now. That's what really bugs me about this Miller story, the shootings that went down in Nevada. The guy had previous charges of weed charges. Apparently, do you guys know what I'm talking about? The Amanda Miller and Adam and Amanda Miller, I think it is. They supposedly shot 2 cops at the CC's pizza restaurant. Like they entered the place, they left to get their guns. They came back. They shot those officers, took all the guns that, and maybe I don't know what else, the handcuffs or mace or pepper spray or something. They made it sound like they took an arsenal off these cops. I mean, they probably just had, you know, a revolver or something and some handcuffs and whatever they had on their belt. If they're just sitting there eating pizza. I mean, what are they, Army, SWAT, militarized police sitting there eating pizza? Well, apparently Adam had a bulletproof vest in the cheesy video that they say they're shooting each other, but that's not the way it happened, and I'm not going to go play it, but you can go find it for yourself. Look up the Miller Walmart footage, something like that. They're supposedly in the Walmart barricaded in. I don't know how well it looks like they're barricaded. They're laying on the floor, pointing their guns at one another. But I mean, I didn't see any muzzle flashing. I didn't see any blood or blood pools. I didn't see anybody like necessarily panicking, like they just did what they supposedly had just done. It looked more like they were just freaking out on drugs to me, if you ask me. And then the cop's like, "Oh, Amanda just shot at him," and like. He just goes, "Good night." It's not like he was like, "Oh!" And while he's laying there, he's holding his gun with both hands. So it's not like he was like, "Oh, I'm holding this wound where I just got shot." If it was in the leg, he would have been holding his damn leg, right? Or if it was in his arm, he would have been like, "Fuck my arm." Well, maybe he got hit in the bulletproof vest, so he's like, "Let me just lay down on the ground. I'll be okay." And then on the someone who's commenting over the Walmart video goes, "Okay, it looks like he just shot her," or "It looks like she just shot him." That's not what it fucking looks like. Excuse my language. And then he goes, "Oh, okay, she's about to 405. That's code number for commit suicide. It looks like she's gonna put the gun to her head." Whoop! End video. End video. End the video right there. And the publicly displayed YouTube video. And any evidence that we could see. And any public speculation on what really happened. And you're never going to see the CC's pizzeria video, but the cops have seen it, and they'll tell you it's graphic, and they say they've seen it, but you can't see it, because they're the cops and you're not. Just like I can't have 20/5 glasses, because that's only reserved for military snipers and or the police, but not a regular person like me. So I have to walk around blind, if you can't tell. But the thing is that they say that those guys draped the cop in a "Don't tread on me" Gadsden flag, that yellow flag with the snake that says "Don't fucking tread on me." Again, language. Sorry. You know, this guy that was watching the show like a week or two ago said, "Hey, watching the show with my son, we really loved it. And being that tomorrow's Father's Day, I think that's great that some dude was watching one of our videos with his son, especially on a Saturday when it's normally more than just DLAKE for PREZ by himself." But like I said, I'm holding down the fort because it's what we do every Saturday, and we got to keep our numbers up. We can't just take a day off. I don't believe in days off. I don't go on a bunch of golf trips like the president likes to do for Father's Day every year, but that's cool. But a lot of the stuff that this Miller guy was posting sounded like some of the stuff that we put out. I mean, and Sam did a whole article about it, and like this guy was supposedly putting the Nazi swastika, or a swastika. I mean, depends on how you look at it and what terms of swastika history that he was representing. But basically, it wasn't to say we are the white supremacists and the Nazi mother effers. It was more like, it sounded more like, if that's how it really happened, that they were putting the Nazi propaganda on to the cops and saying, you cops are the reason why we're disgruntled and pissed off. And the guy had a history in his marijuana case of calling the judge a frickin' Nazi, and like, you know, got extra time for trying to call the judge a Nazi. So it's a really weird case. The fact that they dressed up as Joker and Harley Quinn, though, one friggin' Halloween, does not a Joker conspiracy make. Okay, let's just get that straight. Okay? The Joker has green hair and laughs a lot. He doesn't have red hair and spit a lot and shoot up a movie theater full of civilians. Okay? He goes after high-priced targets. Okay? So James Holmes is not the fucking Joker. And this guy and his girlfriend that supposedly killed 2 cops killed another guy who was an armed citizen and then barricaded themselves in the Walmart when the footage looks like absolute garbage. I mean, and then Barack Obama this week says that, you know, these shootings happen every week in America. And he's all for gun control like Australia, where you'll only have one single shot and gun confiscation works. And like, we need to get rid of all the guns. And Barack Obama sounds like he's in full support of that. And I mean, just like everything that he's been doing lately, he's like, screw the damn Congress. I don't friggin' need Congress. I am the king. I will do what I please. And if these mother effers won't play ball, then I'll just sign some more executive orders, like the DREAM Act, like new drug laws, like setting free a bunch of Taliban and murderers killing mother effers. It was just last month that they reported from last year that it was like 36,000 killers, heinous crime committing, rapists, sons of bitches. Some of them with drunk driving. I don't want to get too far into that because I know how Sam feels about those convictions. I mean, he even defends Justin Bieber, if you can believe that bullcrap. As much as Sam hates Justin Bieber, and just as much as I hate these mother effers in politics, when one of them does something good or is falsely prosecuted, or especially, let's say, someone in the media, like all of a sudden everything is Alex Jones' fault with the Miller case. Like, we got to pin everything on Alex Jones. I mean, I read a full article this week, and it got a shit ton of hits on our Facebook that was like, love him or hate him, Alex Jones is, you know, he's covering the real news, and he's reporting on this, but then the MSNBC and the Southern Poverty Law Center and the ACLU and all these goonbags, they want to say, no, Alex, it's your fault. Well, I don't have it linked up right now. But if you go back and watch the earlier part of the show, you see how fast I like link stuff up and like I'm talking about something and I have it ready. but then my Flash player crashes and it's all of no use. Okay, we're almost down to about 10 minutes left. We've got about 12, 13 minutes left. And this is usually the time, wrapping up near the end of the show, where we like to talk entertainment. Does anybody have an entertainment question? Because I've been having up and down viewers throughout the whole show, and it looks like I still have somebody watching. Thank you for watching. DLAKE for PREZ. Hopefully you're a super hot chick and I'm not going to get catfished. We can go on a hot date. I will offer you a salad in exchange for sexual favors. Like a man in Florida this week, it was reported that he was operating a bicycle. I think that means he was riding a bike. And he came across some female in the street who was apparently in her prostitute disguise. And he said, "Oh, yeah, you look like a whore. Do you think there's any way we could engage in any type of sexual... Think I could get a BJ or anything like that?" On his bike, he's like, he rolls up on his BMX bike. He's like, "Hey, I could really go for a BJ, but I don't have any money." Oh, now I'm losing all viewers. Well, it's the entertainment section, so I don't really care. I was going to say if you have a question or answer, that'd be great. Or a question. Or give me the answer, and then I'll tell you the question like on Jeopardy. You'll be like, "Duh, duh, duh," and I'll be like, Oh, yeah, Alex Trebek the other day was reading 90s rap lyrics was like the answer, and then you had to say the question. What is insane in the membrane? Cypress Hill. But going back to the guy on his bike trying to proposition, a prostitute, and he's like, "Well, I don't really have any money, but I could really go for that blow job." And she's like, "Well, I'm hungry." And he's like, "Oh, well, I have a salad." And then she's like, "Well, I'm afraid I'm an undercover cop, and you just tried to secure the sex for a salad, and so now you are under arrest, and you're coming with me, buddy. You just propositioned me for a blowjob for a salad." We never even saw the actual salad. If it was a green salad, we don't know the street value of that salad. And did he literally have a salad, or was that some kind of like toss your salad sexual reference? We don't know. Well, what do I have in entertainment? Good question. Well, I have a bootleg copy of the new X-Men Days of Future Past. It has like a Chinese audio. You can like hear people laughing in the audience. I didn't want to risk putting this one on screen share. I tried to test it earlier. It looked like it wouldn't work anyways. Hopefully they'll let me get away with a little bit of sound bites from this Chinese bootleg. But yeah, great movie, man. Cool soundtrack, some Jim Croce from 1973. Oh shit. I gotta say Magneto is pretty badass in this. And I won't do any spoiling or giving it away. You can see it in theaters now. I recommend you go to the theater. Don't bootleg it. Because the Chinese like dub over and they bleep out some of the curse words. It really sucks. Can't wait for it to come out on DVD, Redbox, or Netflix, or something like that. Anyways, DLAKE for PREZ. I think I did a halfway decent job talking about Iraq imploding the ISIS. I defined that. That's the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria. Talked about Obama's enforcer, that would be Eric Holder, working in the Department of Justice, Attorney General Eric Holder. The UACs, that's unaccompanied children, illegal immigrants flooding the United States as part of a Cloward and Piven takeover to bankrupt the economy. Even though Biden says a huge wave of illegal immigrants is a good idea, and Barack Obama is the Pied Piper who said, don't worry, he'll executive order pass all this DREAM Act stuff that will just make all you guys citizens and Democratic voters for the next election. That'd be great. And we can look forward to a Hillary administration. Eric Holder didn't originally back him, but I'm sure he'll fall in line and start doing that for 2016. And Biden just wants a big surge, and Hillary says that this flood of illegal immigrants is a good idea. She says you got nothing on her about Benghazi, and she thinks that the Bergdahl Taliban prisoner swap was a great move for the United States. And her new book is 40% off now. Price slashed. She got slashed. The critics think it sucks. There's no good news in there. Not just good news, but I mean there's nothing helpful. There's no like news. It's not newsworthy. It's a bunch of fawning over people and just saying how great and wonderful everybody is. Give us some dirt. No, you guys aren't responsible for anything. You did everything right, and you were such a wonderful Secretary of State. And I know you had all those hard choices. And can't you just put Benghazi and Monica Lewinsky and Watergate and all that other stuff, your whole history of politics? Can't you just put all that behind you? Well, I don't know if that's entertaining, but I was trying to wrap up. But do I have any more entertainment news? Have I seen anything else lately that I can think of? I've been watching, a lot of Netflix. I didn't watch this whole movie behind me, but I watched some of it. It had some pretty cool martial arts. Kind of takes a long time to get to the good stuff. It looks like a wannabe Jackie Chan in some spots, but some spots I was like, that's pretty tight. And the new X-Men is pretty tight. And I don't know. Orange is the New Black. I watched the whole season 2. Pretty good. The finale not as epic as season 1 finale, but a lot of good character development. A little rushed in some spots, but took its good time. Took its sweet time in a couple other spots that I liked. Overall, liked. Second season felt more contrived than the first. That felt a little more natural to me. But worth a watch. Power watch it. Binge watch. Hashtag binge watch. I don't know why I'm trying to pump that up. I just hashtagged it the other day. Yeah, I'm all about hashtags now, but I don't even go on Twitter. I can make a whole show reporting about my tweets. I was watching someone else's. I'm not going to say who. I was watching his broadcast, and he does a whole. Well, I mean, he does like a amazing 3-hour broadcast like 5 days a week, like way more than me. Like super awesome, great stuff. Still not going to say who. You can probably guess, but the other day it was all just. Like he was broadcasting in the news like, hey, I put some tweets on Twitter. Let me read you my tweets because this is news. Well, I mean, that's his opinion. And actually, when I think about it, that's really great. I would just tell you my opinion, not be like, oh, here was my opinion 12 hours ago when I tweeted it. Oh, yeah, I guess I would. I've done that before. Am I rambling? Am I starting to ramble? I wasn't saying there was anything bad about that. I was just saying it was funny. And I wasn't trying to do that. Is what I was just trying to say. Yeah. I don't know. Some people say they have a hard time following me. Other people commented that, like, I mean, if you keep up, my reporting is great. But another person said, once you start making stuff up, you just got to keep making shit up. And I was like, well, I pretty much address, he made another point. I pretty much addressed your points near the end. If you stay tuned for the whole broadcast. I mean, look. And it's funny because when I clicked on that guy's page, he loves all Sam's reports. Everything that Sam puts out at the correct views on the media speaks, he loves. But when DLAKE does a report, he's like, nah, I'm not so sure. Sorry, I was rude. I was having a bad day. I'm like, dude, just have a better day. Okay, no problem. It's all good. I understand. I've been in bad moods too and not watched the whole video and actually commented on it before I seen the whole thing. You know, I was commenting on the beginning part. But the way that I operate is I bring up the premise, or I bring up the topic, and I bring up what I want to talk about, and then I do like a whole bunch of rambling and just bringing in thoughts from all different places. Sometimes I tie together stuff. Sometimes I jump forward too much for people to comprehend what they missed right there. But then I ramble a little bit, fill that back in, and by the time I get to the end of one of these reports, just like a thesis or just like a report, you know, at the beginning you have your premise, and then at the end you have your conclusion. And I try to tie it all in the middle part where it sounds like I'm just babbling and rambling. But anyways, I hope for tomorrow on Father's Day we're going to have a super awesome Father's Day edition show. I do not know what Kyle Phillips has planned for the Who Done Said It game, but what we are trying to do is to make the game epic and have as many people as we possibly can. I know it's Father's Day. It'll only be about an hour out of the day. It's going to start at 11 a.m. Pacific time, which would be 12, 1, 2 o'clock, 3 hours later in New York. So fill in your time zone in between wherever you are to figure out if you're going to have the time and availability and willingness to be on tomorrow's super epic, as many people as we can get to join Who Done Said It game. Happy Father's Day edition. And we're going to have to wait till tomorrow to see what Kyle has planned, but it was my job to pump up that and promote that today on DLAKE's Does the Saturday Show by Himself show. I am a one-man friggin' army in the war of news and information. Please check out my show. That usually comes out during the weekdays, called Welcome to the War. Also check out Sam's The Correct View episodes. Check out Anthony Court's Court Report and Kyle Phillips' TMS Trends. And check out all of us when we team up like Voltron every Saturday. It's like the Wu-Tang. We have our solo albums, then we all come together for the group album on Saturdays. I'm going to have to go back and do a little research because I think it was right around this time last year that we did our 50th episode. So I gotta think we're coming up on 100 episodes or more, and we should really start numbering them, because a lot of times I go on YouTube and people have just like episode 2, episode 12. If I see episode 20, I'm like, wow, you guys are doing great. Keep up the good work. Excellent. I just found you. I have 20 other episodes I can go watch. Good work. Don't just have episode 4. 20 years ago, unless you're George fucking Lucas. Okay? Oh, did you hear Han Solo fell down? Han fell first. Or Harrison Ford? He got hurt. They built a full-size, on the set of Star Wars Episode 7, they have a huge life-size Millennium Falcon. And I saw a picture of it in construction, and J.J. Abrams said, if anyone leaks any more photos, I'm going to start casting Star Trek characters into the Star Wars if you guys don't behave. But we had implications that they were building a life-size Millennium Falcon. Well, guess who can't open the door on that homemade Millennium Falcon? Harrison Ford. And he fell and hurt his ankle and some other stuff and had to go to the hospital. And he's like 71. He's getting up there, but he's still a great actor and still a good guy. And I saw him post something the other day. He's like, "Yeah, I did the Star Wars quote. I did the run in 12 parsecs, but I can't open a door on the Millennium Falcon." Oh, he did the Kessel run. He did the Kessel run in 12 parsecs, but he can't open the door on the Millennium Falcon. He's Harrison Ford playing Han Solo again. But Mark Hamill's going to be in it. Carrie Fisher's back. The guy who played Chewbacca's back. I'm pretty sure R2-D2 is going to be in it. I don't know if they're going to get someone different for that, but is C-3PO going to be in it? Look, you can't have a new Star Wars without C-3PO. You can have a new Star Wars without Jar Jar Binks. Easily. We do not need Jar Jar in there, but I'm pretty sure you could do it without C-3PO. So see, I could talk about Iraq implodes, ISIS, ISIS, the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, Obama's enforcer, Eric Holder, UACs, unaccompanied children, and more, including the new Star Wars, Episode 7, starring Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Adam Driver, and a bunch of other new people. And a black guy. But I don't know if he's going to be Lando Calrissian nor his son. What about that black guy, the security advisor in Episode 1? That guy was good. I liked that guy. Well, I mean, at least in a galaxy far, far away, there was black people, right? So everyone should feel happy about that. Do you guys think America's going to go under Sharia law, like what's going on with the overrun in Iraq? I think your mom's going to go under Sharia law. Yeah, that's just a your mom joke. All right, we made it over an hour. Good job, DLAKE. Solo show. Everybody have a great day, an excellent night, and try not to get too effed up before tomorrow. And look forward to the Father's Day special edition, Who Done Said It, epic episode with as many people as we can get on Father's Day. All right, everybody have a great day. Peace out.